Hello, welcome to the competitive list. So today I got three decks I want to talk about today. I know the last few episodes I've done it mono. I'm just gonna do this one wrapped up real quick for three of them. It's not that much, and really these decks are all kind of the same types. They're all aggro decks. So if you like Gruul, Is It, or Boros aggro, we're gonna talk about them today. They're featuring brand new cards from the newest set. So that's why we're going to talk about them in a hurry, and we're going to get this thing uploaded today. So if you like this kind of content, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification. We're on our way to 1,000 subs. Let's get there together. We're about 100 out. So let's get there, and let's get into the deck list. So first on my list is this Bordo Prowess deck. It features the new show off, which is actually, I think, in a couple of these lists. It's just the best card from the newest set. It's honestly going to be a format staple, I think, in any aggro deck that's in red for the most part, because it's wizard and it's flying. It has haste. What can't you love about it? This deck is basically prowess.deck. We have code breakers, show off, mage, and swift spear. We have almost a full playset, it looks like, of the questing druids. They do help us dig for more action. We have ways to protect our threats with blossoming defense, so it actually does a lot better against black base strategies. We have anger, kind of like the same kind of approach out of heroic. And then we have monstrous rage, because it's just the best red one drop, really. That's a non-creature spell. We have play with fire, because it's the best burn spell in the format. And Kamuno, just because it deals the damage for 1 mana, triggers prowess, really powerful type effect. Sideboard, though, we do have a Pick Your Poison for the Vein Ripper matchup. A Frenzy, one more on the board. We have 3 main, so that way we could deal with Frenzy. We could deal with Vein Ripper and Shieldred, and potentially also Ledger Shredder, which is a big deal. 3 cases for the mid-range matchup. 3 Rampaging for Rosodons. It's really good against Amalia. 3 Volley is also good against Phoenix, Amalia, stuff like that. And 2 Karizev's expertise. Since we are a prowess deck, the extra spell actually is really important, making sure we hit our prowess triggers and go off in 1 turn. So that's Gruul prowess. Keep in mind, it's kind of weird that we're not playing Atarka command, but then again, we have less creatures, I think, than Atarka red does, so that makes kind of sense. But it's a sweet deck overall. Which one of these decks do you like the most? Let me know down in the comment section. Let's get into the next list. So keeping it short, this is a deck we talk about multiple times on the channel. I've played it multiple times on the channel, and I am literally going to be dropping a Patreon / locals video. So if you're interested in watching Grixis and Soul Artifact, make sure you look down in the description. The link is for either one of those is there. And join my Patreon, and you'll be able to watch it. Also, I have the article for it too. This deck, of course, it picks up Lost Jitte, which is pretty awesome, and it picks up a single copy of Legion Extruder. So it's kind of like a new Bone Crusher Giant, where it comes down 2 damage to anything, and then you can sacrifice an artifact. It triggers Gear Drake, which we only run a couple copies of, which is kind of weird, but we would play the NT/Copter package. We have our protection spells with Rebuke. None on the sides. We only have run 3 copies, which is, I guess, is reasonable enough. We have the Siren, Epicure. Torch is our choice for removal. And then, of course, we have our Shrapnel Blast for closing the game out with Ensoul. So typically, Ensoul plays about 7 copies of Ensoul type effects, which we do. 3 cases, 4 Ensouls. Sideboard, we do have Cage for the Amalia matchup, also for the Phoenix matchup, 2 Hearses for Phoenix, 3 Volleys for Amalia / Spirit / whatever. Rampaging Frostodon, also for Amalia. We have a Damping Sphere for the Lotus Field matchup, another Legion Extruder. Assuming this is more from mid-range piles, where we want to bring it in as an extra copy. It also can kill a Amalia, which I guess is semi-relevant. We have 2 Mystical Disputes for the Tempo / Control matchups. And we have a Jingata as a free roll. That is It, and Soul, featuring brand new cards from the newest set. So if you're interested in trying out this deck with Lost GT and Extruder, the link is in the description. Let's get into the last deck. Let's get into it. So arguably the best aggro deck that's been in the format for a while has been Boros Heroic. This deck also picked up Show Off, like makes sense. It's just the best card from the set, and I can't imagine it ever being cut out of this deck. It's just quite powerful, and it's way better than Codebreaker. And it looks like they are favoring it over 10th District Legionnaire, which I guess is reasonable because it's a lot more explosive and it can close the game out much faster. Of course, we have a very similar package. We still are, looks like we're favoring 2 Lauren's Escape, 3 God's Willing. So it is interesting that they decided to go back on Lauren's Escape, because that's usually typically Heroic's way of pushing draws against against Amalia combo, which lets us really have a high win rate against that matchup. Then we have, of course, our 3 Rages, 1 in the board. So it looks like this deck is a little bit more prepared for aggro and variants of creatures of sorts, since it makes sense since control has kind of fallen out of favor, which is arguably one of our worst matchups. We have Defiant Strike, Anger, same as across the board. And like I said, we cut back on our Legionnaires in favor of Show Off. Sideboard, we have our extra Rage for a little bit of removal. Against mid-range, we bring in the Plains and the Showdown of the Scalds. And then we cut back on our creatures and our potential interactional pieces. We have Wear Tear. So he is deciding to use this over the brand new Wear Tear, which I agree with, because I think the new Wear Tear is worse than this card most of the time. Especially since you're paying 2 mana for a disenchant at sorcery speed versus instant. We have Volley, pretty good card to get spirits and other stuff like that. Get Lost for Shieldred, Rest in Peace for Phoenix, Redain for Lotus Field, and Control. That is Boros Heroic. Actually, also, Redain is mainly for also Rakdos Sacrifice. Playing it as the artifact side helps protect our threats against the ping damage from the Mayhem Devil. So keep that in mind as well. That is all I have to cover with you guys today. These are the 3 lists that I noticed that are awesome, in my opinion, and they are all featuring brand new Thunder Junction cards. Until next time, hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Talk to you soon.